Hi, this is Edward Troxel. In today's tutorial, we're going to talk about subclips. The first thing we need to do is figure out what a subclip is. A subclip is not a new file. It is just a pointer to an original file, but it is just a pointer to a piece of that file. So, for example, if you had a small section of a video clip that you wanted to repeat, you could just create a subclip for that small section, and then when you expanded it out on the timeline, it will repeat just that one little bitty section instead of expanding out to be the entire clip if you had added the entire video clip to the timeline. So let's look a little bit and see how we would create a subclip using a script. If we look at this Vegas project, I've created a few regions on the timeline here. So we have region 1, which is the bridal party entrance. This is a wedding video. The region number 2 is surrounding where the bride enters. Region number 3 is a song that was sung by the bride. And region number 4 is just a pan across the stage. And I'm going to create subclips from each of those 4 regions, and then each one of those regions is going to be named the name of the region. If you remember our script from last week, we went through all of the markers on the timeline and we split at the markers. We're basically doing the same thing on this one, except this time we're going to go through the regions. So our first line here is to go through the regions. So we go for each variable of type region called myRegion in myvegas.project.regions. Now you may wonder why I have scriptportal.vegas.region here. Well, if we take this off, we will see that it says that region is ambiguous in that it can be a system.drawing.region or it can be a scriptportal.vegas.region. So we have 2 options. First of all, I could come up here to the top and get rid of system.drawing. Since we're technically not using it, that would be a valid solution. Or alternately, I can come down here and I can specify this one is from scriptportal.vegas.region. And that is the one that I'm wanting to use. After we get the region, now let's go through the tracks. So we're going to go through each track, my track in myvegas.project.tracks. And then for each track, we're going to go through each event. So for each track event in mytrack.events. Then we're going to go ahead and look, is an event selected? If an event is selected, then we need to make sure that it is completely inside the region, because obviously a subclip cannot extend past what a clip has. Next, we're going to create a take variable from the active take of the current event. Then we need from that take to get the full path of that video file. So media path will be the full path on the hard drive of that video file. Next, we're going to create the actual new media subclip. So we have a media variable called myMedia, and we're going to create a new subclip. Here's the properties that we need to create a subclip. The first variable is the project itself. So we just put myvegas.project. That is the current active project. The next is a string path. For that we put in full path, which we just got from the mytake.media path. The next is the time code we want to start. In this case, we want to look at the offset of the take, and then we want to add in where the region actually begins. So that would be the region position on the timeline minus the event start on the timeline. In other words, how far over in this clip do we go? Then the next is the length. For the length, we want the myRegion.length. The next variable is a true-false variable. If it is set to true, then it is going to reverse this event. If it is set to false, then it will play normally. And then finally, the last variable is the display name that we want to use for this subclip. And we're just going to get whatever label we put into the region. Now back in Vegas, we have our video event selected. So let's run the script. And you will see we now have several subclips created. Here's the bridal party entrance. Here's the bride entrance. Here's our panning of the stage. And then here is the song sung by the bride. So each of those 4 regions are now subclips in this project that we can use just like we use any other clip, except when we apply one of these subclips, we have only that one small section from the main clip. And you will see if I pull down any of these subclips to the timeline, you will get both the video and the audio, as this is pointing to this original file. It is just this small piece from that one little bitty file, but it includes both the video and the audio. So subclips can be very useful at times, and it is nice to be able to create those from the script. So we can create a bunch of them at the same time without having to go in and manually create them one at a time. So all we would need to do in this case is put regions around the subclips and run the script, and it will create all of the subclips for us. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.